Here's an introduction to jazz comping. It really helps to already know the notes on the E and A strings and to know your bar chords with the E string and A string root as well. So let's start with the E string root bar chords and let's turn those into some kind of common seventh chords that are used in jazz. So let's use G for our E string root. So I've got G major here, and what you want to do is we're just going to kind of take some notes out of this to kind of open the chord out. We're going to get rid of the A string note, and we're going to get rid of the top two strings as well. So it leaves us with three strings, the low E, the D, and the G string. So on the E string we have our root, the G note. On the D string we have our root again, so we can move that to our seventh. The major seventh is just one fret down. And then we'll play our third, which is on the G string. And that's your major seventh chord. You also add the fifth on the third fret there with your middle finger. So right now I'm playing a G major 7 with my index finger on the third fret of the E string, my ring finger on the fourth fret of the D string, pinky on the fourth fret of the G string, and middle finger on the third fret of the B string. It becomes really important to know the interval name for each of these notes to help memorize the shapes and the functions of each of the notes. So let's just kind of drop the fifth for now, and we're just going to play three notes: root, seventh, and third. So a major seventh chord has a major seventh and a major third, and the root. To make it a dominant seventh chord, or a name with a 7 next to it, we make the seventh a flat seventh. So we went from originally having the root there at the 5th fret, G, of the D string, and moved it down 2 frets to what's called the flat 7th, an F natural. So we've got our root with our index finger on the E string, 3rd fret. We've got the flat 7th with our middle finger on the D string. And we've got the major 3rd on the 4th fret of the G string with your ring finger. So major 7, dominant 7 has a flat 7. Okay, next is minor 7. So to make a minor 7, we have a minor 7th and a minor 3rd. So we're going to move that 3rd down. So now we've got 3 notes all on the 3rd fret. 3rd fret of the E string is the root, 3rd fret of the D string is a flat 7, and 3rd fret of the G string is a flat 3rd, or minor 7th and minor 3rd. So that's a G minor 7 chord. G major 7, G dominant 7, and G minor 7. Next up is the minor 7 flat 5. So we've been ignoring the 5 for the major, the dominant, and the minor 7, which is going to be actually right here on the 3rd fret of the B string. So you can add that in if you want on a major 7, dominant 7, and minor 7. But once you get to the minor 7 flat 5, that 5 goes flat. So it ends up being the 2nd fret. So now we have to re-finger the way we're doing our chord. Middle finger goes on the root on the E string. Ring finger goes on the flat 7th on the 3rd fret of the D string. Pinky goes on the flat 3rd on the 3rd fret of the G string. And then your index finger goes on the flat 5 on the 2nd fret of the B string. So we've got the 4 notes there. Okay, the next important chord is the diminished chord. Diminished has the flat 5, the flat 3, and a double flat 7. So if we go back to our root, the G, we have the major 7th, which is 1 fret below it, F sharp, the flat 7th, which is 2 frets below it, the 3rd fret, and then the double flat 7th, which is at the 2nd fret. And this is a case where you could technically call it F flat or it's E, but either way, it's a double flat 7. So you've got your middle finger on the 3rd fret of the E string. You've got your index finger on the 2nd fret of the D string, your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the G string, and then you bar your index finger on the 2nd fret of the B string. The neat thing about diminished chords is all of the notes are a minor third apart. So you can go up with this shape and go up 3 frets, which is a minor third. And you're actually playing the same 4 notes, just moving it around where they're at on those 4 strings. So anyways, so that's our major 7, dominant 7, minor 7, minor 7 flat 5, and diminished chord, using our E string as a root. All right, so have fun with that. In the next video, I'll do the A string root chords, and then I'll do another video with some progressions that you can play.